Your generosity will help, and just to be clear, the money does not go in our pocket. It goes to the radio station.
Well, the first $20 is gonna go get grease for that chair that Joe's sitting on.
Yeah. So this is all for the radio.
I can't argue.
I mean,
It is noisy.
Yeah. So this is all for the radio station. If you want to make a public pledge, you're more than welcome to call us at 862-246-7322, and we'll put you on the air.
There you go.
And you can tell us exactly what you're going to pledge, and we'll give you a little bit of a shout.
There you go.
You know,
Let's go.
We'll give you some pub for your generosity.
That's right.
So if you
And the
wanna-
three of us will match up to the first $1,000 we said between the three of us. Right?
Yeah, okay.
There you
He's
go.
making executive decisions
I
over
got
here,
it.
Joe, without
Don't worry about it.
consulting.
We're good. We'll
He's-
figure it out. We'll whack it up, as they say.
We live in a totalitarian regime here, led by Bobby Compier. So yeah, so if you want to call us, the listener calling line is 862-246-7322. We have Joe Maniello, the lead handicapper for Newsday, coming on at 10 o'clock to give us his Super Bowl pick, which I'm sure a lot of people are on the edge of their seats to see what Joe is recommending, and then they're going to hop on DraftKings or whatever place they're going to go, and they're going to hit that button to place that bet. Since now,
How much money? What is the number that I read is bet on this game?
gotta be
$6 billion or something
$6
like that?
billion?
Yeah,
I
no,
saw-
it's crazy. It's just,
I saw a stat that New Jersey is slightly behind Las Vegas for online sports gambling.
Did you see my arbitrage post last night?
Which
No,
was
was
what?
that?
I actually did it. I opened up accounts for my wife on both MGM and Borgata.
Oh my
They're basically
God.
giving you $200 if
Okay.
you just bet the game, bet
All right.
$1 on the money line, and then once I get my $200 in free bets from both sides,
Mm-mm.
I'm just gonna bet the money line favorite on a bunch of teams,
Okay.
and then bet the opposing underdog in the other account, and have a potential to make between $200 and $400.
Are you going to place any bets in today's game?
I just have now the dollar money line. I don't know. I didn't bet any. I didn't really look at it. What's the line on the game anyhow?
1.5.
Ooh, that's tight. They're begging you to bet San Fran.
Kansas City minus 1.5.
Seems like a sucker bet.
We should talk about some prop bets too.
We
We'll
should
talk
bet
some prop
KC.
bets with
We
Joe.
should bet the house.
Bet the house on what?
We should put $5,000 on
Oh my God.
on KC.
Everything here now is $5,000 with this guy. Everything's
And
$5,000.
when they win, we donate it to the station.
yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Do you think if we raised like $5,000, they'd put us on the real radio, the Big Boy Radio Show?
The Big Boy Radio Show?
The real
I don't know.
airwaves.
We got to talk to the powers that be.
I bet if we did, we should talk to them and see what's the number.
Yeah.
Get the number, put it on a piece of paper, and if we raise it,
I nominate you to do the talking.
go talk to the boss man.
All right. All right, let's talk about what happened actually last, I guess a week from today. A tragic event in
Yeah.
California with the helicopter. 9 people perished, including Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna, who I think was 13 years old. They were on their way, I think, to the Mamba Academy, where I guess Kobe Bryant sponsors, I think, like a travel team, basketball team for his daughter and stuff like that. I actually was at the movies. I went to go see 1917 with my son.
How was that movie?
Excellent. I think it's a
Yeah,
fun
a
one.
lot
I
of-
think went for the Oscar. Yeah,
it's
it's
got a
not
lot of
the
press.
it's not a sunny movie, but it's very well done, very well acted. The cinematography is great. I think it's going to win probably the best picture. So I would recommend that movie. Coming out of the movie theater, my phone was blowing up with all these
Yeah.
text messages from friends that Kobe Bryant had died. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Tragic event. I mean, I can't think of the death of any other sports figure that had this kind of impact. I can't think of anybody else even close.
Munson, come on.
I don't know.
Is
You know,
it
it's
more
funny.
for us because we're in the metro
Tony, I don't
area?
want to tell you where I was because you'll be on the both of us. But Joe, I was coming out of an Italian restaurant on the Rock.
I was riding my bike.
I'm not kidding. My wife and I went to. I hadn't seen my parents in a while, and we went and had lunch with them. And we're sitting at the table, and we were actually all 4 of us were making fun of each other to how much time is flying because it's the first time my wife and I have been out with my parents without my kids in 20-something years. There were no kids. My little one was home studying for midterms, and the other 2 are obviously away. And we come out, and my wife looks at her phone. We're driving home now, and she's like, "What?" But what happened was it wasn't being reported. It was only being reported by TMZ, and like it wasn't
There were a
confirmed,
couple
right?
missed
Yeah,
reports,
right.
the whole
Yes.
family
So we
was
were
in there.
we were right in that gap.
Yeah.
And it was in the family chat. We have a family chat, and then obviously we listen to it. But like we turn on 10-10 wins, like the go-to, right? When you're in the car, what else
Yeah.
are you going to do? And they weren't reporting it. They didn't report it for like 5 to 10
It wasn't
minutes.
confirmed for a while.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of misreports.
Yeah.
There's even a report that like Rick Fox, I think,
Yeah,
was in the,
yeah.
was in the
He
helicopter. He had to
denied-
confirm that he was.
yeah,
And first they said it was 5 people, and then it turns out it was 9
Sure.
people. But the impact, I mean, I can't think of any other sports figure that had this kind of an impact, especially in a sport that's really a global sport. Because internationally, I mean, this was a big story in Italy, obviously, because his connection, because he spent 6-7 years in Italy,
Yeah.
speaks fluent Italian and stuff like that. But I can't think of any other death of any other sports figure that's had this kind of an impact. I mean, this is a guy who was the idol for a generation of basketball players.
Can't argue.
I mean, he played 20 years for one team, won multiple championships, was really kind of like a global icon in terms of being interested in soccer, spending time in Italy, spending time in Spain and stuff like that. I mean, the impact has been really off the charts. And that's a sad thing, especially with the daughter too being involved.
Yeah, of course.
It's a horrendous story. I guess we'll get some more information in terms of what the actual cause of the disaster was. It just seems like maybe like the pilot got disoriented with the fog and stuff
I
like
don't
that.
know.
Right? Because I mean, it was an
I
experienced
mean, this
pilot.
was his mode of transportation. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. I mean, what do I know about Kobe
Yeah.
Bryant and how he lives his life? But now that this is all coming out,
I mean, 30
just-
miles
he
away
just-
in hindsight. I mean, I guess with the LA traffic, it's always easier to hop in a helicopter, right? And that's just a mode, I think, of transportation.
I heard an interview with Darren Ravel, right, who is for now, you would know.
Used to be with ESPN, but now
Yeah.
I think he's with another website.
Yeah, he is.
So like the business of sports type stuff.
Yeah, it's not the Ringer. I forgot who it is, but anyway, I heard him on. But obviously, he's the ex-CNBC sports go-to guy, and I guess he knows Bryant well. And he was saying that he just couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle gobbling up time in traffic. So this is not the first time. Obviously, he was.
When you're a busy
Helicopter.
guy and you want to
Yeah.
get from one, I think he would take that same helicopter, I think, from his home, which I guess was in Orange County,
Yeah.
to the Staples Center.
Yeah.
For the games and stuff like that.
Yeah, that pilot requested special permission to fly low because of the fog, and that's what happened. And then he got too close to the peak of that hill or mountain, whatever it was.
And they mentioned something, I guess the helicopter was not equipped with this kind of like warning system that
Right.
you're getting close to terrain or something like that.
Correct.
No, but back to your point. I mean, it's you actually bring up a great point, and I can't think of a global. It would have to be a soccer player, I think, at this point, to have such a
Like
global.
one of the top
I mean,
soccer-
look, God
like
forbid,
a-
LeBron or something.
Yeah.
There are guys that equal Kobe, but they haven't been in a tragic, situation like this. So I can't think of
There's
one.
nobody in baseball that would have that kind of
Not
impact.
even close.
And there's nobody in football that would
Not
have that
even
kind
close.
of impact.
Not
It's-
even close.
It's not even close.
They're not as global as the NBA.
It's got to be a
And like I
basketball
said, he was
player or
global
something.
on his own.
Right.
It's got to be a basketball player or a soccer player. Like if God forbid, like Cristiano Ronaldo or
Right.
Lionel Messi, God forbid, passed away, that would move the needle like this.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, the impact has been, 20 years with the marquee NBA franchise, winning multiple championships, being an icon, and don't like underestimate the shoes. I mean, the shoes are a big thing with the young kids. Got one of the better selling, I
Yeah.
think, Nike brand shoes, right, and stuff like that. That's and it seemed like he'd already kind of planned out what the second part of his life was going to be, right? I think he already won an Oscar, I think, for a short
Yeah.
film. I think.
Yes.
So he was somebody who, he's got his warts. I mean, the Colorado thing is the Colorado thing. Some people have brought that up. It is what it is.
I think a lot of people brought it up actually.
Yeah. Joe?
Yeah.
The coverage was nonstop, and look, I mean, the NBA it's a global brand.
What do we got?
What do we have on the phone here, Joe? Good morning. Yeah, who's this? Oh, Steve. How are you, Steve? I hear the money rattling around in your hand. What can we put you down for? All right, Steve.
There you
All
go.
right. What do you got?
Yeah, I know.
Steve, we're not going to call you out. We're just going to broadcast your last name. Go ahead. What do you got? Hey, Steve, you sent me a text today. What were you talking about? Our favorite DJ embarrassed himself. What happened? Yeah. President's Weekend. Yeah. Yeah, that's not happening.